I have so many amazing memories of Haroon. From freshman year back in 2001 in Stony Brook, we've been best friends. From countless pranks, events, trips, and of course our time together running the MSA with, as you may know, the former vice president of the MSA.
My name is Haroon Naderi. For those of you who don't know me, I was a former vice president of the MSA. I was also the vice president of Stony Brook MSA.
It was never a dull moment with Haroon. So Haroon would regularly come hang out with me and my roommate Tamzid at Stony Brook, and we always have each other's backs. I remember one time I wasn't feeling so well, and he'd check up on me as he always did and ask if I needed anything. I asked for a cup of soup, and Haroon, of course, picked up a whole case of the cup of noodle ramen soup for me, and he brought it all the way from Caliquad, which was quite a walk. That's just Haroon. So since college graduation, we moved on our separate ways. Haroon moved outside New York. We remained in close touch. He'd always check up on me and my family, and whenever he was down, we would always hang out. More so, we went on many trips together. We went to D.C., we went to Denver, Las Vegas, Northern California, Southern California, just to name a few. And after I got married, which Haroon, of course, attended and emceed, I brought my wife to the Bay Area to visit Haroon, and she was so impressed at how hospitable, how generous Haroon was in showing us around, taking us to these amazing sites, introducing us to his friends, and he wouldn't even let us pay for any of our meals. And I just told my wife, that's just Haroon.
Over the past few years, I've had only one recurring memory of Haroon, which is every single time we'd meet up over dinner or lunch, he'd always pull me to the side and ask me religious questions. And the scenarios he described were extremely bizarre and uncomfortable and things you don't share with your friends, to be honest. But then again, they were quite typical of what you'd expect from, a hopeless 35-year-old bachelor. Just give Haroon lots of attention, constantly praise Afghanistan and anything Afghani. Take an interest in female pop singers like Taylor Swift and Britney Spears or whatever Haroon's listening to these days.
My fondest memory would be Hasib, myself, and Haroon having our secret halakas, where we contemplated how to take over the MSA and then eventually the world. My advice for Marjan would be to travel as much as possible with Haroon, of course. A couple that travels together, stays together, you learn a lot from each other.
One memory that stands out in my mind was when Haroon called the local radio station and gave a shout out to our MSA. That was pretty cool. And mashallah, he had a lot of confidence in his voice, and I think he made some friends off of the radio network. And it was some big radio station too. I don't remember exactly what it was.
I remember Sean.
Jim, who is this?
Nah, this is Haroon.
Who?
Haroon.
Haroon. Okay.
Oh, you said a room.
Just, can I give a quick shout out?
No doubt, B.
Quick shout out. I just want a quick shout out to all the Muslims on campus,
No doubt.
Salam to you all, man, to come down to MSA. Yo, we had an event last week. I didn't see much of you guys people out there.
Yo, you guys, see, we don't know about these different things. You gotta, let me know personally and we will be there, man.
He never came to any MSA event.
I have a lot of memories with Haroon, but my favorite has to be the first time I met him. It was in 2001, May 2001. He was probably about 18 years old, and he came to Stony Brook to meet all the guys there with his uncles, and he was really excited. He was really happy. He was giving everybody hugs and shaking their hands and high fives and all this stuff. He was acting like he'd won the Super Bowl or something. But so certainly it was strange in the moment, but I came to later appreciate it just the way Haroon is. Very outgoing, very happy guy. Loves to make connections with people.
Best memory of Haroon? Probably starting our first real jobs together right after college at Accenture. I didn't tell him at the time, but Haroon, bro, you made Java Developer School a lot more fun and entertaining than it was if you weren't there, man. So thanks a lot for that.
Haroon, aka Haroon John, Haroon Juice. Yo, fondest memory? Stony Brook, man. Just meeting you, bro. Day one, it felt like I was your day one homie. Everyone coast to coast can attest that Haroon is like a magnet. MashaAllah, he brings people together. It's your special day today. Started from the bottom, Campus Unity, Stony Brook. So that's a great memory as well. Set that up. Shout out to Campus Unity at Stony. And MashaAllah, brother, we love you. Dunyana and I wish you nothing but the best.
Haroon is a very close friend of mine. We have a lot of good memories. We were roommates in college, and we were even roommates after college. We had so much fun traveling. We went to Vegas and Grand Canyon. We even owned a cat together, which was fun. Haroon loves to prank, and in college he used to throw cold water at me over the shower curtain. So Marjan, watch out for that. You might be next. Love you, Haroon.
My fondest memory of Haroon is right after graduation. We kind of got a apartment together, me, Haroon, and my brother. And in this process, we got this little guy together. And Haroon, as you can see, he's still here with us. He's healthy and big, and he's also praying for you for a happy marriage and Akira, inshallah. It's kind of struggle to keep a hold of him, but here, hi Messi. Oh, there you go. So my advice for you, for Haroon, is that, as you may have already figured out, that Haroon is a very popular guy. He doesn't matter where he goes, he's always going to be meeting new people, or at least running to people that he already knows from before. So in a way, whenever you make any plans to be outside home, you should always add in like 5-10 minutes of just social time for Haroon.
One of my fondest memories of Haroon were always traveling with him, and mashallah, he could make friends with anybody. And one of those examples were when we were in Japan using the rail system there. There's actually a bunch of kids in their baseball uniform, and he just started talking to them, right? But the funny part was that they didn't know any English and he didn't know any Japanese, so they were just going back and forth with him, and it was just I don't know, it was just a hilarious moment.
The fondest memory of Haroon was when they first came to America. It was a really big deal, like a big event. All our families were there. And we were just waiting at the front door, and when we first saw them, it was really exciting. First, my brother-in-law and my sister, they walked to the front door, and everyone was hugging and kissing them. And then the kids walked through, and it was really exciting because now we had kids around our own age, and I remember them, and I had remembered them like a few years back when we were in Pakistan that year, and they changed a lot. They were just walking through. First Najla walked through, and she was wearing her Afghani dress, and then Nabila. I remember the last I remembered of her was she was only a baby, but now she was 2 or 3, and she just walked through. And then strangely enough, Haroon also came through, but he was wearing also a dress, and essentially it was weird because I remember him being a boy in Pakistan, but now this time he just was wearing a Afghan outfit that just didn't look like, I never saw it. I thought it was really girly. And so here's a piece of advice from Marjan. If you ever get into an argument with Haroon about who wears the pants in the relationship, just remember and show him this picture, and that will end the argument.